I've been angry, I've been upset, I've experienced depression.
They say don't get mad.
How they treated me.
Get even.
And I didn't deserve that. Nobody deserved that.
Mary Susan Ward says that's what kept her going.
There was times where I laid in the bed and just cried, laid in bed all day. And because, it was...
As she fought Metro Louisville in court,
I'm not gonna cry.
For 7 years.
The saying is you can't fight City Hall.
The former human resources rep for the health department.
I've seen and processed a lot of increases.
Complained to Metro Louisville HR that white health department employees received significant raises without new titles or responsibilities. 10% at a time sometimes. And Ward says when she asked for her own big raise in 2015, it was denied.
Do not treat me different because of the color of my skin.
From there, her days were numbered.
I felt like my boss was harassing me, trying to intimidate me. Then she started talking about, people been complaining about you.
Frustrated, Ward says she threatened to quit.
And I called Human Resources, and I told them what had just happened. I said, I'm just gonna resign. She said, no, you don't have to. You do not have to resign from your position. Don't do that. She said, I promise you we're working out.
But the next day,
I was escorted out of the building. That was the worst experience I've ever had with any job in my life.
In January of this year, the city paid Mary Susan Ward $1 million to end a lawsuit claiming wrongful termination, retaliation, and pay discrimination. An ongoing WDRB investigation uncovered the rising costs of city settlements, nearly $40 million for LMPD-related cases alone since 2017. So much the city lost its safety net. No outside insurance company will give Metro Louisville a policy for excess coverage, meaning these high-dollar cases now fall more on the taxpayers.
We, the jury, award plaintiff Mary Susan Ward. The figure is $850,000.
Ward's case may be a bellwether. The city lost at trial in 2018, but the verdict was overturned on appeal. Then 4 years later, Metro government settled with Ward for more money.
Between that first jury verdict and when we were going to try it the second time, the Breonna Taylor killing had started a really important conversation in our city, and people weren't as skeptical of this city having problems in its institutions.
Ward's attorney believes this is why Louisville's seeing more high-dollar payouts, battered public trust, saying decision makers are now concerned the city may lose more in front of a jury.
There's no way in Louisville to eliminate everybody who's been adversely affected by the problematic institutions in the city.
Metro Louisville Human Resources received the lowest score possible in a recent audit, rating inadequate for internal controls.
They did not protect me from retaliation. They didn't do anything.
Auditors found HR investigations prolonged and lacking documentation, and that the agency had no written process, no rules in place on how to investigate an employee complaint about management or directors, people outside of the union.
We have taken great steps to take this very seriously. We're really trying to get, better training for our people.
As the city's top brass tried to explain away the report at a council hearing, we hear just how deeply those flaws run. At one point, Metro HR only had one investigator for some 6,000 city employees. It meant when an employee complained about their boss, it went back to the department, and that boss could investigate themselves.
So the department could cover up whatever was going on, actually.
They could.
They could, and Orlando Smith says they did in Metro Parks.
The hostile work environment is rampant in the Metro Parks, and at every level of Metro government has been notified of this. It has been swept under the rug from the lowest supervisors to the directors of human resources. And
WDRB obtained records showing for more than 2 years, workers complained of racist supervisors targeting, harassing, and retaliating against minority workers. This audit repeatedly warned the shortcomings investigating management put the city at potential legal risk. At least 2 former Parks employees are now suing Metro government.
I took over the interim role.
Margaret Broska, a former spokesperson for Mayor Greg Fisher, is now the interim director of Metro Parks.
Disrespect and discrimination will not be tolerated. That is made perfectly clear to our entire management team. It's done.
Retaliation, harassment, discrimination, and wrongful termination. They're recurring themes when employees sue the city. 14 employment cases paid out in the last 5 years, costing taxpayers nearly $3.5 million.
People are getting tired of being mistreated and walked over.
Ward received one of the biggest settlements. At first, she just wanted her job back. 7 years and $1 million later,
My thought was I can't seem to get them to hear me.
she didn't get mad.
And of course, money talks.
She got even.